Well, hello everybody and welcome to Chef's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to be making some raspberry muffins, and I'm going to be using frozen raspberries for that. They're ideal for muffins. Now I have my oven preheating at 220 Celsius, that's 200 Celsius with a fan, 425 Fahrenheit, which you might think is quite hot for muffins, but after baking for 5 minutes we'll reduce the heat. So that's the starting temperature, and I've lined a 12-hole muffin tin with paper cases, so we're all ready to go on that front. And we'll go on to the ingredients. And for the ingredients I have 320 grams of plain flour, I have 110 grams of soft brown sugar, I have a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda and half a teaspoon of salt. I have 40 grams of coarse sugar, which I'm going to sprinkle on the top later, and I have 150 grams of frozen raspberries. For the wet ingredients I have 240 millilitres of buttermilk. Now I'm using powdered buttermilk, which I've reconstituted with water, but buttermilk from a store is ideal, and buttermilk made with milk and a teaspoon of lemon or vinegar is ideal as well. So that's my buttermilk. Into that I'm going to put one medium egg, which is large in the USA, and I'm just going to whisk that to break it up like that. And I'm also going to pour in 112 grams of butter which I've melted, and I'm going to mix that in, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So I'm just going to mix that up like that. And then set it aside, and into another bowl I'm going to place the flour, the baking powder and the baking soda and the salt and the soft brown sugar, and I'm going to just whisk those together to get them all combined and make sure there's no big lumps of sugar anywhere. This is a very simple recipe. So with that all mixed in, what I'm going to do is to pour the wet ingredients in, and I'm going to mix that until it's just about combined. I don't want to over mix it. And having a few lumps in of flour doesn't matter. The important thing is not to over mix the muffin mixture. And with that mixed in, I'm then going to put in the raspberries. And I'm simply going to turn the batter over on itself until the raspberries are fairly evenly distributed, and that will also pick up any flour that's still not mixed in. And then it's simply a case of putting our batter into our muffin cases. And so for that, I'm going to use an ice cream scoop, and we want to try to get it distributed fairly evenly. And so with the mixture in the muffin tins, what I'm going to do is sprinkle this coarse sugar over the top, maybe about half a teaspoon on each one. That's going to stay quite hard during the baking, so it will give a nice crunch as you eat the muffin. So with that, I'm going to put them into the oven, and I'm going to bake them for 5 minutes at that 220 Celsius, 200 fan, 425 Fahrenheit for 5 minutes. Then I'm going to turn the heat down to 180 Celsius, that's 160 Celsius with a fan, 350 Fahrenheit, and bake them for another 18 to 20 minutes until a skewer poked into the centre comes out clean. Then I'll take them out and let them cool down, and I'll come back and show you the results. Okay, well, I'm back with you, and I baked our muffins for that 5 minutes, reduced the heat and baked them for another 20 minutes. I tested with the skewer and it came out clean, so I've let them cool down, and now I'm going to taste one. That is very good indeed. They've got that crunchy top because of the coarse sugar that I put on top, but the lovely soft texture of the muffin and the sharp tang of the raspberry. Very, very good. So that's going to be it for this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below the video, and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and it will take you to the recipe, and I'll also put a link to that below the video. And I will be back with another recipe in the very near future, so until then, happy baking.